Hello friends, and welcome to the course ECC. We are on to module 4, second problem on star pyramid 2. In this problem, we'll write a method which accepts a number as argument and returns the string. So let's say if your number is 5, the string should be generating a pattern that looks like the one shown on the screen. So each line is continuously increasing the number of stars by 2. For all problems like this, always take a good look at the pattern that is shown and try to see what repetitive pattern it is making. So the first line has 1 star, the next line has +2, the next line has again +2, and so on for all the number of lines. So we'll use this pattern logic that is there in our code. Now, certain method specifications: if the argument value is negative, that means you don't have to generate any pattern, just return -1. If the argument value is 0, again, no pattern, return -2. And for all other values, return the string containing the above shown pattern. So your string should, on print, generate the pattern that was shown on the screen. So let's move on to the code. So this is the template of code. We have the class star pyramid 2, wherein we have the main function that is calling our star pattern function, and we are passing the parameter 6. So we'll have 6 lines of pattern. Now before we start, let's set our result string to blank for now and return it. Now before moving on to the actual code, let's take care of the cases wherein they say that rows if less than 0 we have to return -1, and if rows equal to 0 we have to return -2. So very simple 4 lines of code. So as you see, we have a fairly simple code here. If rows is less than 0 we return -1 and -2 for if rows is equals to 0. Now let me quickly type out the logic wherein we'll create the string that will generate the pattern, and then I'll go ahead and explain to you how we did that. So here in the for loop, as you see, the very first for loop, line number 13, is going to traverse through the number of lines. So if the number of rows is 4, we will have 4 lines, or if the number of rows is 6, we'll have 6 lines. Now let's say in the first iteration we enter into this for loop. Now this piece of code, this for loop, is going to add spaces before the star in each line. So for the very first row, let's say our row number is 5, and we enter into this iteration for I is equals to 1. Now k will be equal to the rows. Until k is greater than I, we'll keep adding a space. Now finally, when all the spaces are added, we move on to the next for loop. Now this for loop, what it will do is, it will add stars into the line. So let's say for again the first iteration, I is 1, j is 1. Now in that case, this condition comes out to be true. So we'll add 1 star. In the second iteration, when I is equals to 2, this condition will become false. So we add 2 stars. Now again, in the next iteration, j will be incremented by 1 and j will become 2. Now j is equals to I, because it is the second iteration of the for loop, and j becomes equals to I. So now 1 more star will be added to that line. So as you see, in the second line we'll have 3 stars, which is similar to the pattern that we saw. Now once this completes, we go to the next line and move on to the next iteration. Again, for the next line, I is equals to 3, we add the number of spaces and then move on inside. So 3 is not equal to j, so we add 2 stars. Again, next iteration, j becomes 2. 2 is also not equal to 3, so we add 2 more stars. And then finally, when j is 3 and I is 3, we enter into the if condition and add 1 star. So that makes a total of 5 stars for the third line. Again, we move on to the next line, and this iteration process continues for as many number of rows as we want to print. Finally, we return the result string, and that would be printed out from main here. Now let's save and run this program and see what is the output that we get for 6. So see, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, and as you can see, each line number of stars is incremented by 2. So the first line has 1, next line has 3, next has 5, then 7, then 9, and then 11. So that is your program for Star Pyramid 2. I hope you understood the for logics here. Thank you for watching and happy coding.